We wish you well. We wish you well. All through the day today, we wish you well.
So welcome to Conscious Discipline, and what I am learning about Conscious Discipline and what we are doing here at EDPS. So Conscious Discipline is about, creating an atmosphere in a building. It's about a focus on well-being. It's about creating a family. It's about helping kids to be aware of their emotions. It's about adults being aware of their emotions and what to do if their emotions escalate to a point where they're unable to control them, and being aware of that.
What being a part of a school family means to me, we all take care of one another and we all have a part no matter how big or how small you are.
Treat people how you want to be treated.
Be respectful.
I'm making sure everyone feels safe.
And let's talk about the brain states. So, first we got the survival state. The survival state is when you need to attack, defend, or run. If you're in the survival brain, you can say, I'm safe, I can handle this, I can do whatever I need to do, but not hurt anybody.
Hey boys and girls, today it's my job to keep you safe.
Our job to help keep it safe.
Please repeat after me. I am smart.
I am smart.
I am respected.
I am respected.
I am loved.
I am loved.
I am safe.
I am safe.
And I am accepted.
I am accepted.
So the children were outside playing, and the adults outside noticed that a storm was quickly approaching our school. We could see the clouds rolling in, and so we started to gather the children together and say, it's time for us to go inside even though the bell hasn't rang. And as we started to run inside, it started to thunder and lightning, and it was pouring rain. And the children grabbed each other's hands, and they were saying to each other, I'm here to keep you safe. It's okay. Just breathe. I will be with you. And little moments like that, you realize they're making that connection, and they really are hearing your words, that we are here at school to keep each other safe.
What is our job at school? It is my job to keep you safe. What is your job?
To keep each other safe.
So what we make a point of doing is that one line, my job is to keep you safe, and they will echo back, your job is to help, and everyone doing a consistent message within the classroom, within the team, even within the school. And even the parents now are coming back asking about some of that language.
In this state, to calm yourself down, you say, am I loved? And one of the triggers is not getting your way. So if you can just calm yourself down, that would be the best thing to do. And you would keep saying to yourself, I am loved, I can handle this, just keep breathing.
We do the safekeeper job, and with that we usually say it's our job to keep you safe, and then the children say back it's our job to help keep it safe. So with that, we also, everybody takes and holds their heart or makes a heart, and we talk about the children that are away for that day, whether it's a teacher, an EA, an EC, or a student that's not in our class that day. And the children tell us who would be away, and we again hold our heart and we wish them well.
If somebody's not here, we put them in the middle and we wish them well. And some of the things that you could say is, I hope you come back tomorrow, and I hope you're feeling good.
We wish you well. We wish you well. All through the day today, we wish you well.
Last year, one of our students got stung by a bee, and the classroom teacher was attending to this student. The ambulance had to be called. It was a very serious incident. And so in the classroom, I was there just looking after the children, and there was a lot of concern, a lot of anxiety that one of their classmates had been stung. So one of the children suggested that as a class, they wish this student well. And so they immediately put their hands over their hearts and they gave their best wishes for this child. And what really impressed me was the calming factor. That anxiety seemed to melt away. The children seemed to understand that the boy was going to be in good hands and that things were going to be okay, and that they had a role to play in wishing well and hoping for the best for this student.
I had a rather challenging group last year. They really didn't like each other very much. And we started off with I love you rituals, which we thought was an easy way to get everybody to buy into it. So the kids developed their own handshake. And we also had some rituals that we did when we were leaving and entering our classroom, or leaving and entering the gym. When the kids came into the classroom every morning, a different classmate would stand at the door and they would greet them in whichever way they chose to be greeted, and then the same thing at night, so that the kids were anchored coming into the room, but they were also anchored going home, so they knew that things were going to be okay when they left the room. Just things so that kids could feel connected to the other people in their class, because we thought that that was a good place to start. We thought that was something that was missing, and perhaps if they felt that connection, then they wouldn't be so quick to judge each other.
What do our smiling faces do? Lucas, what do they do?
They trick our brain.
What do you mean? They trick our brains? So even if we're feeling sad, when we have a smile, it helps to make us feel better, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Let's try it.
We start every morning with a circle that includes a breathing exercise just to start our day and get everybody centered and ready to learn, as well as a time to share and let us all feel a little bit more connected to each other to start the day.
The children are lost often. There's a lot of children who are 4 and 5 years old and don't have any physical connection with anyone, and in the morning that's the first thing that they want to do when they get to school is greet each other. In our family meeting time, we have a time where they shake each other's hands, they say hello. It's a very welcoming atmosphere, and that is probably the part that I've embraced the most in my classroom.
This is my school. Family, this is my school. Family, this is my school. Family. Now we're together.
The educators here that support these students, they allow those students to be able to regulate themselves by themselves, so that when they're out with their friends or they're out with their family and they don't have the support necessarily to get themselves back on track, they have their own tools to help self-regulate and to keep themselves feeling good.
One day, of course, they were all building snow forts, and there was a disagreement over whose fort was whose, and they started taking each other's toques. One boy became very aggressive and was sent inside. He was very embarrassed and was thinking the rest of the kids would not want to play with him anymore. Without saying anything to the kids, I overheard a conversation of them saying, okay, what's our plan for next recess? We'll build a safe place inside the fort, so if the other boy is feeling that way, he can go in there to calm down, which of course safe place is right from conscious discipline. So we thought that was so neat, that, you know, instead of saying you can't play with us anymore, it was what can we do now to bring you back into your executive state and feel better.
I am in the safe place. You can go to the safe place if you are having a stressful day or if someone hurt your feelings. The safe place is a good place to go if you need some alone time or if you need to calm down. You could take some deep breaths or think of happy things that make you happy. This is the breathing called the Crazy 8. On one half of the Crazy 8, you breathe in, and the other half you breathe out.
It empowers the children to calm themselves after a conflict. They can use their breathing techniques like the pretzel, the star, and whatnot, and they use the self-talk as well. I'm safe, I can handle this.
I'm in Mrs. Burwell's safe place. I'm gonna take some breathing. First, we'll start off with the balloon. Now let's do the pretzel. Now let's do the drain. And now let's do the star. Now I am calm.
We know that breathing naturally releases hormones in your brain that calm yourself down. Those breathing techniques are a scientifically proven way to help students reduce stress and reduce anxiety.
I find I'm more aware of the words that I use with the students, and I choose my words a little bit more wisely, and I'm more aware too of thinking about their actions and the behaviors that they have and the possible reasons behind them, and don't take it as personally as I used to. I also find that I use those statements that we talk about in my own personal life, like I am safe, I can handle this, and keep breathing.
It makes me realize that my behavior is more important than the child's behavior. How my reaction is to what is happening in the classroom changes how they respond. And how if I need to take a break, that's okay. They've pushed my buttons and I have realized like what my buttons are, and when I need to go to the safe space, that's okay too.
And I think too, it makes you realize that if you can regulate your reaction, you get a better response from the students. So if you can maintain calm and keep your demeanor at an executive state and try not to get emotional, then it keeps the student in that state as well and helps them to come down.
It starts with the adults looking at the adults and taking care of the adults in order for us to be able to help deal with the child. So, for instance, we've spent a lot of time looking at our own triggers, and that has been particularly helpful for me because as a human, sometimes you react to what happens, and conscious discipline has made me aware of when I do that and has made me hesitate. And if I hesitate at the right time, then I change my tact at the time. And as a result of conscious discipline, if I don't hesitate at the right time, I will go back and talk to the child. The whole premise of this based around the fact that conscious discipline gives us as professionals a better understanding of the brain, our brain, the child's brain, and it's much more powerful than anything that I have ever come across.
The executive state is in the frontal lobe, and when you're in that state, you think positive thoughts like you're not stupid, you're loved, and stuff like that. And you can pay attention more.
Are you willing?
Yes. Are you willing?
Yes!
Take a deep breath. I wish you well.
I wish you well too.
1, 2, 3, let's do it. I don't like when you got in line. Can you please stay in your own spot?
Okay, I can do that. Am I willing? And if people are mad, they will say no. But then when they're calm, they'll say yes.
We wish each other well because we don't want to hurt each other's feelings.
Our goal, I think, as educators, is to prepare students for the world around them. And if they can best understand their own body, they can best be prepared to move into that world successfully.
It's really had an effect on this building. It's had an effect on the adults in this building. And for me personally, it has really had an effect on me because it directly impacts my own well-being. It's fantastic. I'm a big believer.
This is my school, family. This is my school, family. This is my school, family. Now ways to